like Gay said, we probably have 800 or more bookings in the last 5 years. I'm not even sure what we have for bookings. But there's advantages, disadvantages to all. But the number one advantage, the number one thing you want to do when you travel, especially if you're a full-time traveler, but even if you're not, is you want to book cancelable reservations.
We are Gay and Robert. 5 years ago, we quit our jobs, sold our house and all of our possessions, and began living the dream of traveling the world with only backpacks on our backs. After flying over 300,000 miles and visiting 82 countries, COVID brought us to a screeching halt. True to our fashion, we improvised and bought a brand new van and built it out in just 6 weeks to explore the United States until international travel opens up. Good morning, everybody. I thought today would be a great day to do a video on the pros and cons of Airbnb and bookings.com. We are currently still in Santorini, Greece, and what better place to do a video on than from this amazing view right here in Santorini. So I thought Bob and I are probably the experts on Airbnb and bookings.com because we have stayed in approximately 800 places in the last 5 years during our travels. And so since I am not the booking expert, I certainly stay in all of these places, and I can give you my honest opinion on what it's like between the Airbnbs and bookings.com. What are you doing?
Wait, now I book all the bookings, so I think I have a better feel for it, looking at the reviews and all the pieces and parts of that booking. And I can give you the thoughts on the pros with Airbnb and the pros with bookings.com.
All right. I agree. I could probably give you the best sleeping location or the best place for cooking, but yes, I think the viewers probably want to know more from the perspective of a financial decision.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a lot to share because there are some pros and cons, especially with Airbnb.
I'll give you that much, so you can take it from here.
All right.
I'll hold the video camera for you.
Okay, what a better place, like Gay said, to be in Santorini and discuss our lodging, which I handle all the lodging. Generally, Gay does some research on it, but I generally book it through bookings.com, hotels.com, or Airbnb. So I'm going to go through all three. I'll try and make this quick so you don't get bored, but I'll give you what my feelings, and I have tons of experience. I'm on their site all the time. Like Gay said, we probably have 800 or more bookings in the last 5 years. I'm not even sure what we have for bookings. But there's advantages, disadvantages to all. But the number one advantage, the number one thing you want to do when you travel, especially if you're a full-time traveler, but even if you're not, is you want to book cancelable reservations. So you book your airline tickets, and let's say you book them 6 months in advance. You want to immediately, and in fact, before you book your airline tickets, you want to make sure that the housing is available at a price you can afford. But as soon as it is, you want to book on bookings.com a cancelable reservation at a hotel, hostels, apartments, condos. They have all different types of lodging available. You want to go ahead and book that so you have that set. You know it's a halfway decent price. And then the next 6 months you can look for better. And again, look for cancelable reservations. As you get closer, then you can go ahead and book lodging that's not cancelable because you know it's coming in the next week or two. So that's what I do. I'm able to find better pricing constantly by doing that. So again, bookings.com is my go-to. It's probably 70% of the time. Hotels.com I use because they have a rewards program. So you basically get 10% back on your housing cost. And but many times their pricing is not anywhere near bookings.com, so it generally falls back to bookings.com, but I do hotels.com also. The third option is Airbnb, and as good as the experience we've had great hosts. You can usually get kitchens and houses much easier. A lot more variety that you can with the other bookings.com or hotels.com. But the main disadvantage is you cannot cancel the reservation easily. Many times there's a big cancellation fee coming from the host, and if not, then you have a cancellation fee, which is a service charge coming from Airbnb. So I rarely book through them, especially out a long ways, 6 months or something like that. What I'll do is I will book with them when we're within like a week or two of actually going on the trip. Then I will, because they do have a lot of variety. But one disadvantage of Airbnb too is the hosts, which are not businesses, bookings.com, hotels.com, Expedia, all those are going to be normal hosts that have either, quote, a Holiday Inn, even though in other countries they're hostels, they're small homes, different types of guest houses, stuff like that. Many times the Airbnb listing will also be on bookings.com. Not I wouldn't say often, but it has happened. The one in Santorini, we actually booked off bookings.com, but it's Airbnb, because if you look on the listing, they have reviews out there. So the reviews on Airbnb are very good as far as being able to determine what place you want to book or not. You are not able to sort by price on Airbnb, which is not, it's annoying. It makes it much harder. Seeing that I'm doing that for so many bookings per year, it's very important that it's easy. So hotels.com is not great either in that sense compared to bookings.com. And so that's one reason that we do the bookings.com. But the Airbnb, they are hosts centric mainly. So if you call them, they need to work a deal between the host. For instance, had a situation in New Orleans, booked it out like 9 months in advance, about 4 months before, and this is Mardi Gras coming up. Contacted the host. They said, "Oh, we can't host you anymore. Sorry about that." And I said, "Okay, no problem. Just cancel the reservation." They said, "Oh no, we're not going to cancel the reservation because we'll get charged a fee. So you're going to have to deal with it." And then they came back and said, "If you don't deal with it, that's your problem, and we'll just wait and hold the reservation till the last minute and cancel on you, and then you'll be stuck." And so anyway, I contacted Airbnb. And I said, "You can read my messages, correct?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay." So and they're like, "Well, no, we need to work this out. We blah, blah, blah. Somebody's going to get charged the cancellation fee. So it's either you or the host." So it was not a very good situation. As we're with bookings.com, we had a case where the host actually sold the place. So we messaged a few days before, and they said, "Oh, we sold the condo 6 months before." Contacted bookings.com. They said, "Go ahead, book what you can find that's around the same value or quality." And so we did, and which ended up being quite a bit more expensive because it was last minute booking, and they went ahead and reimbursed us for that. That's only happened twice on bookings.com. Airbnb, you can have a host that's not, has it in their basement, has it in their garage, and decides, "You know what, this is too much of a hassle. We had a really bad tenant. We are going to stop." And now all of a sudden you get a cancellation and you need to find a new place at the last minute, which is potentially very expensive. So Airbnb is not on the top of my list because of the cancellation fees, the risk of the owner just pulling out the last minute. But at the same time, if it's within a week or two, many times I will just see what Airbnbs have because they are nice places and there is a lot of variety to do, as far as to pick between those. They'll have kitchens and full homes and such like that. So we have booked with Airbnb, but just be warned, they are not as friendly as a bookings.com or a hotels.com. So that's really it. A lot of it comes down to me as far as how easy it is to book the place and find the place and find the best places. So bookings.com is the best. We have no affiliation with them. We should, but we don't. Hotels.com is okay too. Many people use those because of that rewards, and we booked quite a few places with them over the last number of years. And Airbnb is the last, and if they would change some of their processes and their systems, we would go with them more often. But the cancel fee does not work for us because we need to be able to cancel our during COVID, all our housing outside of one Airbnb. We had New York City booked for 1 month at $2,500. Everything else was cancelable, and we got our money back. Because of COVID, Airbnb did provide us with a credit that we used later. So, kudos to them. They did well during COVID. But anyway, that is a review. Hopefully that helps. Definitely ask questions. I do this all the time. I'm on bookings.com or all these sites many times during the week, over and over and over. So I have much information. Please give a thumbs up and definitely subscribe. We love having people follow along, and we're going to go to many places on the van, on the Sea Dory, internationally. We have many trips planned, many events planned. So please, please, please subscribe. All right. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys.